some of the overtaking, Jesus. The line's literally there, so literally my bum's in Romania and my knees are in Ukraine. Very, very good sushi here. Bus. Nice. When we left it was chaos. Day 3, guys. So we're still in Romania. Things didn't go so much to plan yesterday. We were planning on getting straight off the train here about 4 and getting straight out into Romania. But yeah, things didn't quite work out to plan. We ended up being stuck here in Suceava, which isn't the worst of places to be stuck, to be honest. On the edge of Transylvania. Found a pleasant bar last night, a cheap bar as well. Had like pints of Meretti for like £1.40. Not bad. And yeah, to be honest, it's my 3rd time now in Romania, but it's a country I like. It's not bad. It's pretty cheap. People just, it's the kind of country, it's like the kind of place which just doesn't give a shit, which is why I like it. So nobody bothers you. People are helpful, I'd say. I wouldn't say immediately friendly in terms of smiling, talking to you. Although that's more of a respect thing. So in Eastern Europe and in Romania, there's a bit of a, over here being polite to each other is just leaving each other alone. Whereas in England, being polite to each other is saying hello, smiling. Over here, if you want to be polite, you respect somebody's kind of personal space and you just kind of let them get about their life. So I wouldn't say people are overly kind of in your face friendly, which is what I like actually. I'm not such a fan of the super smiley cultures, the super kind of hey, have a nice day kind of places. But yeah, they're helpful people. You know, every time it's like on the train station, you don't know where you're going, they're definitely helpful. They'll point you in the right direction. You ask any question, they'll help you. But yeah, they just let you alone. It's the kind of place where nobody really gives a shit what you do. Just get on with what you want to do, and everyone else will get on with what they want to do, and nobody cares. It's quite like it in Romania. It's quite a cool place, definitely. Romania is, I'd say, more on a par with Ukraine in terms of prices, so definitely still pretty affordable. And yeah, it's developing pretty fast as well. We get a lot of Western standards over here now. It'd definitely be somewhere I'd consider spending a bit more time for sure. And overnight I became pregnant with a big blue baby. Expected any minute now. So yeah, we're making our way to the bus station. Hopefully we'll find a bus or just a car or like a van going into Ukraine. It's like 60 miles, so there should be something. Even if there's not a bus, then there might just be, sometimes you get just a guy with a car, chip in for petrol, obviously give him a bit extra. So yeah, see how it goes. Nice weather. September's a fantastic month generally for traveling Europe. Weather's just perfect. Not too hot like summer, not too cold like October, November. Nice 22, 23 every day. Beautiful. So at the bus stop. One interesting thing about Romania is the language is very, very easy, especially if you know a bit of a Latin language. So like Italian, Spanish, for example, so super easy to read, even for just English speakers. So Sistem Integrat de Transport Public Ecologic in Municipalul Suceava. Basically, integrated system of public transport, ecological public transport in the council of Suceava. Very, very easy to understand. Even here, transport public local. Literally 3 English words. Local public transport, just the other way around. Very easy language actually. Very similar to Italian. Let's say if you want to know how Italy would have looked if it fell into communism back in the 1920s or whenever the Bolsheviks were taken over. I'd say come to Romania. I imagine it would look pretty similar to this. A kind of Latin country with still a very heavy kind of ex-communist presence, so even especially in the smaller towns, like most of these buildings still were built by the communists, if not all of them, to be honest. It's interesting how the shops don't work actually on Sundays. So Same in Poland, but in Ukraine, shops always work on Sundays. Even these little corner shops don't work. Hopefully the bus station's working, and I mean the bus station will be working, of course, but hopefully the shops in the bus station are working. Could do with some water for the ride. Even though most of our day today will probably be spent on the border. So it's like half an hour to get to the border, and then from the border another kind of half an hour. But I imagine we'll be on the border at least 2 hours. It's a very big border, especially now. So it's basically leaving the European Union, which is always a long process, and going into a non-EU country, which also happens to be a war zone now. So that's going to be tight too. Well, hopefully no more than kind of 2 or 3 hours on the border. I know when it started there were queues for like 20 hours and 2 days, but that was mainly leaving, not going in. And then there was big queues going back in again when Kiev became a bit safer. On the bus now, £10 each, not bad. £13 as well. The guy was asking me a few questions when I got onto the bus, like, are you sure you won't be able to leave again? I said, no, I'm British. So I was speaking to him in kind of Russian, Ukrainian. So obviously I've got an accent when I speak, but he probably looks at me more as being a local going back home as opposed to a foreigner going in. So I said, no, I've got a British passport. I can get out easily. He said, oh, what if the law changes? I said, well, I doubt the law's going to change to not allow foreigners to get out, and I don't have a Ukrainian passport, so there's basically no reason for them to legally keep me in the country and not let me out. I've got a few friends there anyway at the moment, so if they don't let me out, then we can group together and survive. The beer's still cheap, so I mean, I'm more concerned about the fucking driving than crossing into Ukraine. At this stage, it's looking out the window, because basically in a lot of these countries they don't have like dual carriageways, or well, of course there's a few motorways, but not that many. So you get the same amount of cars on a single carriageway as what we'd get on like a double dual carriageway motorway. And some of the overtaking, Jesus. Literally put a finger, I think, between some cars getting back into lane just before the cars coming ahead. So yeah, if you come to Romania, guys, I'd probably say do it by train. It's not for the faint-hearted by bus. Maybe it's just because we've got a Ukrainian driver, I don't know. It's just quite hilly in Romania, so it makes it a bit more like a roller coaster. Got some tunes on board as well, this driver. Oh, yeah. What a G this driver is, just casually driving into a war zone. He had on my mother FMPIMP playing not so long back. Ukraine by bus takes me back to my younger days. So for the last like 4 years there's been flights going in, but for like a brief spell they stopped most flights going into Ukraine after 2014. So we're just kind of getting back on the feet. We had loads of flights to Kharkiv, Kiev, so I've not actually entered the country for a long time by land. We just always flew into Kiev or to Kharkiv. People from like Egypt who flew into Kharkiv. So yeah, it takes me back to my younger days going in on the bus. Always felt adventurous. Always an adventure. With the smugglers as well, you get lots of old ladies smuggling things on these buses between the seats. Border control don't really do much, I don't think, because the pension's so bad in Ukraine, they're just trying to make a bit of money, but maybe going out like 30 times a month. Cigarettes between the seats, sell them back in again. DVDs, well maybe not DVDs now, but you know, whatever you can buy in Ukraine for cheaper. Back and forth, little old ladies who live on the border. Moving now between the borders. Don't know if I should be filming this, but it's just the sky, all you can see. And we're literally on the point now where the two countries meet. That's the Romanian block. And that's Ukraine. So this is literally the line. The line's literally there. So literally my bum's in Romania, my knees are in Ukraine. Because well, literally that's where it is. And Yana's fully in Ukraine. So yeah. Oh, I'm in Ukraine. Good to be back. So, into Ukraine now. There's a lot bigger queue trying to get out of Ukraine than there was going in, and we got over the border so easy. Literally like half an hour in total, and that's both sets of borders. Getting back out is going to be a different story probably. However, we've got a plan for that, and the plan is to just get the bus to the border, walk over the border, and then get a bus from the other side. So if you walk in, it's always a lot faster. Well, obviously these buildings haven't been bombed, this city hasn't been hit. Yeah, as you can see, life's almost back to normal here, I'd say. Looks basically a lot. Imagine for people who lived here all their life enough because of the war, imagine coming back's also very nice. It's kind of like nostalgia. Even these Lada cars here, you can see. So nice to see them. So you don't get them in the European Union. Probably banned because of the diesel regulations, environmental laws. So we're finally back, finally in Ukraine, so good to be back. Such like, I don't know, nostalgia being back. First place to go in to get some traditional Ukrainian food. Ukrainian sushi. Do very, very good sushi here. So we're gonna go there, get a bit. For me, sushi is like Ukrainian food, like everywhere you go, sushi, 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 they love sushi. Probably more than even Japan. Pizza as well, they love pizza in Ukraine. Prices now. Prices for locals are terrible because the prices are going up and the local currency, the hryvnia, is losing value daily. But if you've got strong kind of Western currencies, dollars or pounds, it's relatively cheap. It's actually very cheap. For example, I just passed a kind of kiosk selling cafe, and it's like 20. I'll show you this bus. Very Ukrainian site. It's like 20 hryvnia for a coffee. £1 is like 42, 43 even. I don't know exactly, but I know it's pretty strong. So it's like 45p coffee. So yeah, first impressions are now it's a lot more normal than when we left. When we left it was chaos, even in the West, even in the Western cities. Still wasn't obvious what was going to happen, nobody knew. A lot of kind of panicking, a lot of trauma. I'd say it was horrible. Even in Lviv where we got out, it was just terrible. Block posts everywhere, checkpoints, men with guns everywhere. Here especially, well, it's not everywhere of course, but in this city, it's a lot more normal feeling now, which is good. Just cross the border, across the first pit stop. That's Pint Stella. Cheers. not what you expect, probably when you think of Ukraine in 2022, crossing the border. Yeah, for me this is just Ukraine. This is my Ukraine, what I'm used to. One of the reasons I moved here was for the very high standard of service over here. You can live a very luxurious life over here. But this isn't the Ukraine which people think of. The Ukraine people think of now is the Ukraine on the news, which is obviously terrible, and there are places like this, and they were poor before, now they're just decimated. But I think I want to also show to you guys that that's not all it is in Ukraine. Ukraine's not all just one war zone, you know, it's still alive. Ще не вмерла Ukraine. It's alive still, people living a normal life, so been in the country literally about 45 minutes, just got over the border, and of course first port of call for my favourite Ukrainian food, Ukrainian style sushi. Best sushi in the world. You can get like a massive set of sushi for like 20 quid, and of course pasta as well. So yeah, let's cook in, try a bit. First of all, the soy sauce. Straight onto one of the prawns first. Guys, we've got here crispy prawns. I don't know if it's hand food or I'm gonna be a caveman, use my hands. I'm also not sure if it's soy sauce food or not, but I'll have one bite without, one bite with. All that prawn is out. Massive juicy prawn. Very nice. Good to be home. So guys, you've heard of a deep fried Mazba up in Scotland, but have you heard of deep fried sushi? Look at this, sushi roll, deep fried. There's quite a few of these as well. Only in Ukraine. To be honest, I don't think there's many countries in Europe with higher standards than Ukraine in terms of restaurants, hospitality. This isn't a kind of unusual place where we are now. This is just a standard sushi bar. There's loads of these places in all big cities. So yeah, very high standards. Trying to find a hotel somewhere now in Chernivtsi. This is central Chernivtsi. Pretty nice city. Full of life actually, which is good. He's alive still, Steve Jobs, and he's moved to Ukraine to sell iPhone accessories. How's it going, Steve? Oh. Good to see he's doing well for himself. So the second sign that we're in a country at war. So it's not that obvious, especially not to start with. First sign was the police with massive like Kalashnikovs in the centre. Second sign is that we have these signs here in certain places on the walls, and this is Ukrytya. Ukrytya is a bomb shelter. So you get a few places, got a sign up here as well saying, it's basically down here. You see quite a few about the city. I got a video I can show you later. Too many eyes on me, too much pressure. We're almost like standing, okay. We've got a beer, order it. It's called, in a place called Goyera. It's pshenichna, I don't know, like wheat beer, unfiltered. So give it a go. Cheers. Nice. Это вкусно. All of them есть. Это вкусно. Заведение такое красивое, это все красиво, это вкусно. Вкусно пиво, красивое место.
Рекомендую.
Из моих любимых слов. Красиво и вкусно.
Рекомендую.